Today we are going to discuss about a very important aspect from the cell biology, that is a cell death. We know generally in the living organisms most of the cells are regularly replaced by the new cells, means having a particular lifespan of the different cell in the body of organism. So old cells are replaced by the new cell. This is a process, means old cell cause death. So here this cell death, actually the meaning of the cell death is it is a biological process in which the cell stop or cease their functions. That is the cell death. So this cell death carried out or takes place by the two different pathways. One of the pathway is that is the necrosis, and another one is the apoptosis. These are the two main pathways. Through these two main pathways, the cell death occur in the cell. So see, this cell death of the cell due to the some physiological changes in the body, or it is physiological, or sometimes it is a pathological. And here during this process, what happened? The cell undergoes some changes, morphological changes in sequential, and finally the death occur. So here with these two processes, with these two pathways, this process carried out, this cell death carried out. So here now see, in this both process there is a cell injured or the irreversible injured cell, or lethally injured cell, which leads to cause the death of that cell. This through this pathways. So here in this both pathway there is the cells are going to leads to die, but there is a difference between these two pathways. So what are the main difference? See, necrosis, this necrosis process, or in the necrotic pathway, here this necrosis cause due to the any infection, any pathogen, infection of pathogen, or the trauma or the radiations, means this necrotic pathway or the necrosis takes place due to the external forces, pathogen or the radiations or the toxins are there. So it is always pathological. It is always pathological. Means the pathologically cell injured, irreversibly injured, and the necrosis takes place. And this necrosis takes place in the large group of the cell. It is takes place into the large group of the cell. Group of cells. So on the other hand, in the case of apoptosis, it can be pathological, or it can be physiological. Means in some cases the cells should be removed from the body, or cells should be removed or replaced from the body. For example, during the embryonic development or the embryonic development process, there some earlier cells are disappear and new cells came there. Okay, so this is the physiological process. So physiologically apoptosis takes place, and we can see, suppose in the embryonic condition, in the fetus there is our toes are joined by the web. But up to in certain condition of the particular stage, that our fingers or our toes get free, means there is a disappearance of the web from the between, which is between our toes, means the cells are disappeared. That is a apoptosis process, and that is a required process. That is a required, means it is required for the physiology of the body. So here, and sometimes it also pathological. Sometimes it also pathological. But the whatever the necrosis process is there, which is always pathological, So here now today we are going to focus only on the necrosis process. Only the necrosis process. How the necrosis process takes place and what actual changes happen in the cell or takes place in the cell during the necrotic pathway. So see, first of all, we know what is a necrosis. So see, necrosis is nothing but a series of changes, or a series of morphological changes in the lethally injured cells. That is a necrosis. Series of morphological changes means in the necrosis process there is in sequence there is some changes occur in the morphology of the cell. Morphology means suppose cell morphology. Morphologically, cell having is a plasma membrane is there, nucleus is there, or that is the cytoplasmic material is there. So some sequentially changes occur in these things of the cell or the components of the cell in the case of necrosis. Now see why these changes occur. So which things are responsible? Suppose when the cell is injured. Suppose this is the cell. This is the normal cell. This is the normal cell. If this normal cell is injured or harmed by any pathogen, so first of all, this particular cell start to treat it, whatever the harm got from this pathogen, external force or external pathogen or any factor, external factor. So, but if the cell is unable to recover or to treat, then this cell lives in the necrotic phase or follow the necrotic phase. So here, what happened? This cell is injured, then some changes occur in the cell. This injured cell or lethally injured cell, there is some changes. So what type of changes are there? Suppose then see, and finally this cell become bad. So see here, normal cell, due to the any which is affected, badly affected, adversely affected, lethally affected by the external force, pathogen, radiation, any toxin, any pathological or in disease,